Hey everybody, so as I mentioned in my Instagram and Facebook story earlier today, I am down to my last 16 sets of EXP74CM mandolin strings. The strings that, in my opinion and the opinion of many other professional mandolin players, is not only the best set of strings 𝘀𝗴𝗲 ever made, but the best set of strings ever made. Now, not every string is for every person, but I can tell you there's a lot of people 2 years later still mourning the loss of these strings. And I was talking to a friend recently who's also running out and discussing that neither of us really know what we're going to go to next. So I bought some different sets of strings, and I'm just going to try everything I can think of, even ones that I'm not sure that I would really like at all, and just try them out. Now there's a few things I'm not going to try. I'm not going to try light gauge anything. I don't like light gauge anything. Probably not going to try heavy gauge anything either, because I just know that I don't really like that. But when it comes to string material and manufacturers, I'm trying a bunch of different stuff. So first up today is the GHS Silk and Steel. I decided for the first set just to completely flip the script. Now, just because I know some people are going to mention it in the comments down there, I did try, oh, nope, these are more of these ones. Somewhere down there is some 𝘀𝗴𝗲 XT strings, which is what they introduced as the replacement string, which really is just, it's not the same. It's not as good for what I'm looking for, even remotely. They're fine. But you can find fine strings lots of places. So I have tried the XT, not really a fan. I'm hoping that doesn't turn out to be the best option. I will make an XT video in this series. But first up, I decided to just really flip the script. I haven't played on silk and steel strings since I was a kid. I was probably 11. I'm 34 now. But I did remember them being nice and slick feeling, and I like slick feeling strings. So these are the GHS LS250, and the gauges are 11, 16, 26, and 40. I would much rather have the gauges for the 𝘀𝗴𝗲 set, the EXP74CM, which has a 16, no, the 16's the same. It's the 11.5 E string that these have, where this has just a regular 11. But we are talking about a pretty small difference here. Everything else in the gauges is the same. So I put these on last night, and I'll tell you what, I really like how they look. Like, all nickel colored strings are pretty cool. I do have a set of mono strings, or monel, I don't know, that I will put on, I think, somewhere. And I'll put on just a bunch of things in that box down there. I'll put on each one and tell you what I think. So initial impressions. I normally stretch out my strings over and over to get them in tune. I didn't feel like doing that yesterday. I put the strings on. I played on the new strings for maybe 20 minutes, something like that. Tuned them a couple times. Tuned it earlier today once a few hours ago. And it was pretty close to in tune when I picked up the mandolin this morning. So I've tuned it once for a lesson earlier. Had a few times where I was tuning the A strings during the lesson. And it has really stayed in tune. So my initial impression is on the A and the E, I love it. It feels and sounds like my EXP74CMs. In fact, they're even a little slicker feeling, which is something I really like. Now getting to the bass, I'm less excited here. It sounds fine, but it's a little too muted. And I'd really like it to have just a little more oomph behind it. The other thing I don't like is that the winding is not super tight. It's really big winding around this, and the result is very deep ridges that are far apart from each other as that winding is wrapped around the core. And I don't like that because it feels weird when I slide and it kind of works against me. Now the chop, the strings have a good chop. that works fine. I'm just not super stoked about the G and the D. I could even see myself finding a different G and D and keeping the A and E from this set. Wouldn't be the first time that I've put together some hybrid sets. So throughout this series, chances are good I'm not going to play the same stuff each time, which for a real good comparison series, that would be great, but I'm probably not. I'm not going to write down what I did in this one and copy it. But it also probably won't be that different either. What I will end up doing is playing things that highlight what I really like and really don't like about each set. So I'm just going to go ahead and play a little tune here. So those are the Silk and Steel LS250s. The gauges are 11, 16, 26, and 40. And, oops, there they go. And I like the treble. Nice and slick. Fat notes that sound like me when they come out. And less than excited about the bass strings. That's where I'm at right now. So there we go. See you all in the next video.